Howdy ho, friends. Welcome back to the show today. So I was lucky enough to scrounge up a few extra hours of time today to get that clutch out of my big tractor. I have to get it out because, well, A, the parts guy wants to see the old one. There's some numbers on it he wants to see. That's fine with me. And B, I got a few extra minutes today. That clutch ain't gonna pull itself out and that flywheel's not gonna turn itself. So let's get after it. Okay, friends, some of you might be more familiar with these clutches than I am. I've only dealt with the ones in my Massey Ferguson tractors and in a John Deere tractor and not a semi-truck clutch, so all new to me. Now, they tell me that this thing weighs a lot. And when I say a lot, anything I can read, it's like anywhere from 100 to 170 pounds, which, yeah, whatever. Heavier the better, I guess. I don't know. So I'm gonna have to rig something up, I'm guessing, just to help myself get it out of that hole. Now, the flywheel, I'm familiar with those flywheels enough to know that that's fairly heavy, but like I say, guys, the fun part's gonna be getting it right here from there. So I gotta figure that out, but now I want you to pay close attention to this too. Someone's been in here before. You notice how there's only one bolt there? Can't see the bottom, but there's bolts missing in there. Be it good or bad, I'm sure it's not good, but hey, whatever. Less bolts I got to take out, but I'll have to find some new ones to replace them with. Maybe that was part of what led it to slip. Who knows? Again, I kind of doubt that, but who am I to say? So, first thing on the agenda, I got to round up a couple wrenches, get my body, gonna move that hose. I'm probably gonna stand up in that region, take bolts out of there. Maybe I'll rig something up to my little trusty truss here, so I can unbolt that clutch and lift it on out of there. I don't know. You know what I say, guys? This whole project's been kind of a wing it. Let's try this project. So let's try that. All right, well, one coming dumb along. Sockets, ratchet. I got to be as prepared as I can down here. I don't want to, clearly it's not going to be in my best interest to have to go up and down and up and down and in and out. It's try and make this as one and done as possible. Speed ratchet, set that right there. What else could I possibly need? You know, as soon as I get in there, I'm going to know what I could possibly need and wonder why I didn't. Let's see. Any other bases I could cover? Piece of chain. We'll just set that there for now. That clutch pedal ain't doing anything anyway. Let's see how sturdy my step-in transmission is. So far, so good. Can I get my body in here? That's the... Boy, easier said than done, I think, guys. We'll get rid of this. He's not doing me any good at all. What have I gotten myself into? I think... Actually, now that I'm in here, this has got to go. That's going to make so much more room for me to get in and out of here without this thing in the way. All right. Well, guys, on that wing, my wing got clipped. Let me get this out of the road. We'll be right back. Okay, so now that that's all out of the way, now what do we got here? So back to this problem. Is there anything I can hook this guy to? I mean, maybe. That actually might work. I don't have much of a choice in the matter, so let's see if I can get down in here now that there's some more things out of the way. What the... I kind of hate where that hose is right there. He's not making my life easy. Should have ditched it before, but what are you going to do? Let's see. So, missing a bolt. There's two there. It's not that size. It's that size. So let's get some of these bolts just right out of the way. I don't necessarily want to pull them all just yet, but a handful of them out of the way wouldn't hurt anything, I don't think. See, I don't want to get too crazy pulling bolts on this just yet because I don't know where, what, how, if. A lot of things I don't know what's going to happen here, friends. So I really, really hate this, but it's going to happen. So now my next bet is that the two discs on the inside and the plate that goes between those two discs are all going to fall completely out, which is okay. They're junk. But again, I'd really like to know how much this thing weighs before I let it come down and slam on my foot. And now I'm going to get myself in a different coordinate here so when things start falling out of there, they don't immediately try to cut me in half. Ouch. You mulligan son of a bitch, stay out of my way. I guess I'm going to try and get a pry bar in there and see if I can pry that away from the flywheel. Maybe. Again, guys, don't know what I'm doing here till I get it apart. I've never read into it this part. Seems like it'd be self-explanatory. And maybe that's wrong. Well, that wasn't so bad. Geez, I was expecting that to go way worse than it did. That wasn't bad at all. Okay. Let's ditch the crowbar. Oh, that's only one disc. The other one's still in there. That's fine, though. All right, let's get this guy out. Let's see, how do we look for wear? Huh. I mean, it ain't great, but I've seen worse. All right, now. So how heavy is that clutch actually? Because I'm going to need to get that out of there. That's kind of right smack in my way. Let's see. Well, according to my come along, it ain't that heavy. Let's see if I can lift it out of there. Easy enough. Now I'm going to get myself back down in the dungeon here. Get my head out of here. That's bugging me. Okay. Well, it's kind of heavy, guys, but it ain't no... I was expecting heavier, but let me just jump to the other side and get this on the floor before it lands on my feet, because I know it'd be heavy if it hit my feet from any height. Out you go, big guy. All right, now for that part. Well, it'd be easier if that big stupid transmission wasn't right in the way and actually had enough room to hit the ground. You see, guys, there's a bracket that goes straight across the back here, right about here. But the front axle's right about here. So, you know, that elephant-sized transmission is just not going to slide out of them holes. And I sure ain't going to lift it out through the cab door, at least not right at this juncture. But whatever. All the more adventures. There we go. You just got to jiggle it. There we go. All right. That thing out of my way. Come on. Again, not the worst. Well, whatever. Flywheel side. Put it in exactly as I took it out. Okay, let's keep that out of there. Okay, now pilot bearing's completely toast. Good thing I pulled it apart. For my next trick, I got to get this flywheel out of here. Oh, I see why those bolts weren't in there. One's broke off. Cool. Oh well. Again, not the end of the world. Let me get this on the ground. Let me get that 800-pound flywheel out. And move on with my next trick. Let's see, what size is that? Not that size. How about this one? Bingo. I like it. I can kind of ditch the rest of these tools now, you know, save a little space in this spacious work environment I've got here. Get that out of there. Oh. Ratchet set just sort of spun around and just hanging on by one socket. One socket's better than no sockets. All right. God, I know that flywheel's going to weigh 200 pounds. Got to get it out of there. Nothing I can do to change that. Let me get this other stuff on the ground here. Oh, am I not looking forward to that? Not one dang bit. Nope. Guys, I'm not looking forward to that. The clutch was easy compared to what that's going to be. I already know the answer to that one. Now, on the positive side, it can only fall so far because it's going to hit the front axle. Probably won't fall through that hole. Probably won't fall through that hole. May break my leg when it comes off. I'll deal with that when it happens, but... All right, let me get myself back to the... Well, ain't nothing in the way. I can just walk right through the center. I don't know what to do with my crowbar. Maybe I'll set him right here. Sorry. Didn't mean to bump you. Oh, let go of my shirt. Thank you. I can sure promise you getting that big bastard back up in that hole ain't going to be any fun. No way. Maybe when I get down to... There just ain't a good place to hook this bugger on either. Let me think about that for a minute when I'm taking bolts out here. You know, guys, the bitch of it is that is probably the cleanest flywheel I've ever pulled out of anything that needed a clutch. Like, as in, someone has put a clutch in this thing and basically parked it after that, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it was never adjusted right off the bat. I mean, I wish I knew someone who had this tractor longer than the guy I bought it from. He basically bought it from an auction, parked it in the front yard, and 10 years later I bought it from him. So there's that. You can tell the way that these bolts are just an absolutely no... I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to them. You got three there, one that's way over here, one way over there, three that are really close together, and these two over here are kind of oblong. She's only going on one way. There's no way to screw that up. Of course, with some people I've worked with in the past, you know, makes you wonder if maybe they would figure out, get a drill out. I don't know. Maybe they'd figure a way to do it, but okay, just get him loose and not out. Need some thinking juice. It's too early in the day for thinking juice, though. I'll just start pulling on stuff till it lets me know what I did wrong. Oh, there we go. That was easier than I thought. Now the ticket is how, well, it's heavy, guys. I'm not going to tell you any fibs about that. It's definitely more than heavy enough. Let's see. Can I put a bolt in there with this and that? Find one of these random washers laying around here. Good enough. Okay. Put it in the top here. No promises that that's going to be good. In no way, shape, or form do I like what's happening here, but I'm going to get my feet out of the way and do it anyway. Steering wheel, thank you. As many of you have said before, getting stuff out ain't so bad. Getting it back in that hole is going to be where the real fun begins. All right, well. Oh dear, where are you going? You can't escape me. You have to come out. Yeah, see, it fell in such a perfect way. It kind of wedged itself right in between the front axle and the main shaft on this transmission here. So I just got to, wiggle it on out, which this thing is not helping me at all with that. There. All right, get out of there, you. Nope. Yep. Yeah, up you go. Don't move. I'll be right back. Oh, there. Yep. Good God. The things I do for entertainment, Phyllis. The things I do for entertainment. Yep, there we go. No problem. Now, guys, we got to get this really bad pilot bearing out of here. What do I have? That is what I have. Let's get a bigger hammer. There it goes. Okay. Guys, I'm going to bring you in for a closer look, but I'm telling you that if there was ever a time I maybe would consider not turning a flywheel, this would be it. But since I've come this far, it's getting turned the rest of the way. And I had to pull it out to get the old pilot. Well, there's part of the problem with this pilot right there. It doesn't do much piloting when it's only sealed on one side. I mean, I guess for a little while it will until it says she ain't locked up tight, but it definitely, it's junk. It's junk. Yep, by golly. So you see what I'm talking about here, friends. I mean, it ain't real cracked. Someone's been in here and turned it, obviously, because it ain't that bad. I've seen a whole lot worse, but it's getting turned anyway. It's already out of the tractor. I sure ain't putting it back in without it being absolutely perfectly fresh. Well, my friends, as you can see, I now have my work cut out for me. We're exactly halfway done with this project. Can you believe it went that fast? I mean, I suppose in real time, I had my camera going for the entire time I was in there pulling that clutch out. And that video is 40 minutes long. Obviously, the one you're going to see is, got some cuts in it. But it took me 40 minutes to get that out of the tractor. Not bad considering, real time to get the transmission where it's sitting so I could get to that. That took me about 3 hours, 3.5 hours maybe. That, again, I could think of things I'd have rather done for 3.5 hours, and that's not one of them. But, considering, that's not so bad, I guess. So, even if it takes me double that to get everything back in, if it takes me 6 hours to put the whole thing back together, I mean, considering, again, I hate to keep using the same word, but considering what I'm working on. This is a big tractor in a very small barn with one idiot. That's not bad. I mean, I read somewhere on the internet that a guy said that she's a good day job, half day in, half day out, something like that, where, I guess that's feasible. I'll buy that, but this is one of these where it's not so bad because I'm done with all my farm work this year. It's still early in winter. In fact, it ain't even winter yet. What is it? December 1st today? Yep. Just going to be winter soon. Let's make a solid goal to get this whole thing back together before Christmas. No promises, because I got a lot of other things to do. And maybe I might sneak in another new project here and there. Wait and find out. But guys, on that note, that's going to do it for what I've got to do today. Now, I got to get all this clutch to the parts store. Guy down at the truck shop says, yeah, I'm sure I can get you a clutch for that. Just bring me the old one. You got it, Brian. Coming right up. Got to get this guy to the machine shop. That'll take 2 days. No big deal. So, guys, I got places to be. We'll see you next time.
Eat a 2-week-old unrefrigerated pie.